Hello friends, now I am going to start the fourth chapter, how the traders became rulers. How the traders became rulers. This is about that the Europeans came to India. We all know this, no matter about it. But in regarding this, they came to India for trade. But as they found weakness in Indian king's administration, they got opportunity to start their own rule. Means what the Indian king were doing, they were in quarrel with each other, almostly lazy. These two things showed their weaknesses to the other foreign tribes. Right? Now I want to say one thing, that in India the Britishers were more powerful in compared to other European communities. Understand this. And as first Portuguese came, second Dutch people from the Holland came, third Danish from the Denmark came to India, fourth Britisher from the Great Britain came to India, and last French from the France came to India. It means, remember that our administration was in hands of different kings. They agreed to give permission to these all foreign communities to do trade, but they found lackings of princely states or king's administration in different regions, and they started to find out option to control our different kings in their own way. So we are going to study that how these all Europeans and mainly Britishers found the way to control us as our rulers, came to India as traders and became our rulers, and our generations of those days accepted them also. So it is called weakness of the Indian people. Understand this. So let us continue with the topic. By the mid of 18th century means 1850s, Britishers had to emerge as strong power in Indian political horizons. Sorry, I said mid 18th centuries means 1750s. By mistake I said 1850s, but it was 1750s. Means 1750, 1751 to 1759. So in that way, in these 10 years, they got first opportunity by destroying power of Siraj Uddola. You have already studied in Battle of Plassey, right? Thereafter, we have understood they got second opportunity in Battle of Buxar to destroy some other enemies like Mir Qasim, Nawab of Awadh Shuja Uddola, Emperor Shah Alam II, the Emperor of the Delhi. In that way, they got opportunity to control Indian regions in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. So they started originally their work with the permission from the Indian kings, but now they are on pace or the situation where they had complete political hold over Indian states. So remember one thing, that British rulers developed in their economic interest as well as political diplomatic tactics they used to control Indian kings. And out of it, the one political tactic was used by Wellesley. It is known as subsidiary alliance system, and his policy is known as policy of annexation. Right? So I want to discuss policy of annexation established by Wellesley in India. See, we all know that in India, different British officers came to power as a governor general. So you can understand that all Britishers and the mainly East India Company was having control over Indian political horizons, and they tried to establish their control over Indian kings also. Right? So you understand one thing, that Indian kings were under control of the indirectly Britishers. Here there was also another problem for Britishers, and they were French. So to control and check French in India, they used this policy of annexation and policy of expansion, policy of controlling the Indian region by the subsidiary alliance system, and later in Dalhousie, the next Governor General, had used policy of annexation. So these are the different policies brought Indian regions under British control in complete power. But out of all these incidents, policy of expansion established by Wellesley was more and more important to understand. Okay, let us continue the subsidiary alliance system. Now you understand what is called subsidiary alliance system, that princely states accept this system will have not to use their army, own army. They will have facility of British army for their requirement, and in their own royal court, one British representative will sit. So in that way, you understand, one British officer in the royal court of that king, princely state means the kings of Indian regions, and maintenance of the British army on expense of princely states will continue. So they will not have any worry. How can they have worry? You think army of Britishers, the expenses the Indian kings will pay, So the army will manage on Indian king's monetary support. So it was completely benefit from all the side for the Britishers. Understand this. Now I want to discuss one thing, that here one more point you have to remember, that this army for which the Britishers had to pay, kings had to pay maintenance, they will not be able to use army on their own will, but they will use the army on will, wish and advice of British officer. So here you understand, the payment will be made by king, the army will be managed of Britisher, but when they need, they cannot use. Only on the advice of the British officer the army will come to help them. So here the system, subsidiary alliance system, was earlier seen to be very good. It was highly appreciated earlier by the Indian kings, was felt at the later period as the slow poison for kings in reality. Now you understand that subsidiary alliance system was actually completely loss, policy of loss to the Indian kings, but they not understood and they lost their regions in hands of the Britisher. Let us see who accepted this alliance. The first one was Nizam of Hyderabad. He was the first victim of this policy. Thereafter, Mysore, Hyder Ali and later Tipu Sultan. But Tipu Sultan fought not to agree to join this policy, but laterly he was defeated and he was bound to join this policy. Ayodhya, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Gaekwads of Vadodara, our Vadodara in Gujarat, it was independent state. Peshwas of Pune, they were Marathas. Sindhyas of Gwalior, these all princely states were originally independent, but by accepting this policy, they became part of indirectly British rule. So again I want to indicate main points of subsidiary alliance system. First, the kings who accept this policy or the system will have not to maintain the army. This is the first point. Second, one British officer or the representative will stay in their royal court to advise them. Third, for maintenance of the British army, the king will have to pay. Fourth, the British army will come to help kings, but on advice of only British representative, not when the kings are in need. So in that way, these are the main 4 points you have to keep in your mind. In that way, our kings were in clutch and control of Britisher because they were started to reduce their army. So when they were in real trouble, they had no army. Understand this. Now I want to discuss how the Indian kings came in this control. As the Nizam of Hyderabad first accepted it, we have already understood. Thereafter, the number came for Mysore. In Mysore, who was in rule? As I told earlier, Hyder Ali, and later his son Tipu Sultan was in rule. In case of Tipu Sultan, he had also some enmity with Nizam and Marathas. So both helped Britishers to defeat Tipu for their own interest. See, this is a mistake of Indian rulers. They were in clash with each other and they were seeing benefit of own by defeating their enemy. But who is going to defeat them and to whom they are going to support? They were not understanding. And this was the reason when the Tipu was defeated, it was a big blow to the Indian kings. Understand? But I want to say, in fourth Anglo-Mysore war, remember, in fourth Anglo-Mysore war, Tipu was defeated, Tipu was killed, and his region was brought in British control. Except the Mysore, Ayodhya, Tanjore, Karnataka. In Marathas, I could say, actually, the great Maratha leader Nana Fadnavis, was most powerful to make the united Maratha region. But after his defeat, all Marathas were fighting within each other for establishing their supremacy over other Marathas. And this was understood by Britishers. And they used divide and rule policy. Remember, they used divide and rule policy to destroy Maratha power. In that way, you understand Gorakhpur, Farrukhabad, and now there is a list is clear about which regions were brought in control by Wellesley. I repeat, Nizam, Mysore, Ayodhya, Tanjore, Karnataka, Farrukhabad, Gorakhpur, Sindhia, Holkar, Gaekwads, Peshwas, all lost their power and brought under British control. So in that way, the control of Britishers came over larger Indian princely states. Whichever the Indian king's region is considered by only one word, Indian princely states. Larger area of the Indian princely states came under the British rule in 7 years administration of Wellesley. Understand this. Now, I want to discuss that how the British rule expand after subsidiary alliance system. We have already understood that most of the northern part was brought under British control, but they found some regions were not possible to brought in their control. So they used policy of friendship. First, they made one treaty of friendship with Nepal, and they found it safe because the Gurkhas from Nepali region were fighting community, so they brought under British control by the friendship. The other one is Sikh. Actually, Britishers were expecting to bring Punjab in the British control. But due to the Maharaja Ranjit Singh, it was difficult. It was still difficult. So they made friendly relations with Ranjit Singh and got their help in battle with Afghans. Also, they reached to the Sindh of today's Pakistan. So you understand one thing, that British had actual ambition to brought maximum small states under one roof and to control over India. But due to the Ranjit Singh and his powerful capacity of the army, they found that Britishers cannot possible to control Ranjit Singh. So they made their friendship with Ranjit Singh. Up to the life of Ranjit Singh, it was not possible. So they started their friendship with Ranjit Singh. So here, as the Ranjit Singh was a strong ruler, they made friendship. Also, Ranjit Singh was having help of other European officers for protection of his own state, today's Punjab state, in India and Pakistan, both regions. He had achieved lots of the victories over nearby states and brought in their own control. But after his death, Punjab became disturbed and started anarchy, means the administration was weak. In that situation, the ruler in Punjab was changed due to the death of Ranjit Singh. And in India, the Britishers have also changed their officer. Governor General Henry Hardinge came to India and found opportunity to bring Punjab and Sikh regions under their own control by policy of interference and annexation. See, here I want to say some additional point, that after the death of Ranjit Singh, his son Dulip Singh was killed. His queen Zinda was powerful, but there was a disturbance in Punjab. So Punjab was defeated and was brought under British control, right? So here you understand that Britishers were trying to control so many regions in by their own way. How to bring them under one control? Actually, here I want to say that whatever the step Britishers were taking were originally to bring anyhow kings under own control. So now you understand one thing, that first Britisher established their rule over Bengal because it was a port region, and due to the port region they had opportunity. See, in Surat, then Mumbai, in eastern side there was a Bengal. So okay, Madras also. So in that way you think all coastal line were in hands of Britisher in eastern side and in western side. So they try to conquer maximum regions in their hands and try to destroy princely powers in different regions by their treachery or their tactics. Okay, some regions in Punjab, Sikh were brave. Anyhow, they destroyed their power and brought their under own control. Where they find possibility to make friendship, they use the method by brought Indians in friendship with their own benefit. So you understand one thing, that Britishers used different tactics: divide and rule, policy of expansion, policy of interference and annexation, and subsidiary alliance system. These different ways Britishers used, and also used the policy of friendship to bring princely states under own control before Dalhousie, I am saying. Now